Hi everyone, it's Kay from the Paper Shed. Hope you're all doing well today. Thanks for coming back and joining me for another hashtag ABC April 2025, hosted by the lovely Margerth from Seven Plaza and Toni from Crafting by Toni. And wow, we're on day 22, which is S today, and we had the choice of, well, we didn't have the choice, we could have done anything, but the prompts list is stamping, scraps, specimen cards, sewing and signatures. I added snippet rolls, but I've decided to go with specimen cards, which I will be stamping. I'm going to do sort of botanical, I think, rather than insects, just for a change, because I think it'll be, a nice little change. So I thought we'd go with that. So I'm going to get my stuff ready and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've got everything, I think, I've pre-prepped. I've got my specimen cards. I've got two different sizes, and these are just die cuts that I've got in my stash. So I've got three of those and three of those, which we'll see if we can get all three done. I've pre-prepped my acetate for my window and just put some double-sided tape around. Now with the small ones, they don't quite fit. If you use my tape's thin, it's only a 1/4 inch. And you just need to go half on and half off and then just cut around so that you can get that in that window there, and they should be fine. I've got some bits and pieces of what I think I might be able to use in there, some little nice little sayings. I've got some stamps and I've got some backing sheets, which I'm just going to use graph paper or coffee dyed paper. I've got my ink ready just to do a bit of inking, and I've got some metal bits together that I may be using in the holes. So we're going to start with, should we start with the little ones or the big ones? Let's start with the big ones, just in case we don't get through them. So my first thought is to ink. I probably should have done this off camera, but if I leave everything off camera, you never really get to see what I've done. So I'm just going to ink around there and around the window, because I want to be able to put my acetate in. And it does actually make a big difference if you don't forget to do the window. And if you do it from behind, it should be fine. So we'll do all of those and get that done and get the acetate in. So how sad is it that it's coming to an end next week? It's, yeah, it's gone really quickly actually. And some of the videos have been amazing. There's some absolutely fabulous crafters out there. Absolutely stunning. Some great projects as well. I've really enjoyed having something to do every day and sort of watching all the videos. It's been absolutely fantastic. So I think if you're a small channel like I am, I think we'll have probably noticed quite a big difference in, our viewing time and in our subscribers. It's been absolutely phenomenal. Okay, that's number 2. Oh, we've done them all. Yeah, we've done them all. Okay, well, we may as well do these ones while I've got the ink out. I probably have got to do the inking around some of my bits as well. I sort of don't want to, I'm not bothered about making them too grungy. Sort of doing them sort of a bit more neutral, if you like, this time. And just around that window. That's that one done, and the last one. Yeah, I got these dies from Temu actually. So you can buy the metal dies, and you just need to be careful, because some of them, I ordered it the first time thinking it was the metal die, because that's what the picture was, and I actually got the cards instead. So I went back in and ordered made sure I was ordering the little ones. Yeah, I'll do that as when I need them. I think that might be the best option. So we're just going to get the acetate in now. Now, when you do acetate, I'm using what are they called? The projector sheets, the very old projector sheets. You can usually pick them up in charity shops, because people just tend not to use them anymore. And on the projector sheets, you get a rough side, because it's printable. You get a rough side and you get a smooth side. Make sure that you stick your sticky on the smooth side, because that's the bit you want out of your window. And I'm just going to go and pop those into there. Perfect. And again. Now you can use glue. You don't need to use double-sided tape for this. I just prefer to use it. It's cleaner, and you don't really have to worry about the seepage. I know that art glitter glue works with acetate, but yeah, use whatever you have. Another one, and then the last one. I may as well put the others in as well. Okay, so we've got our windows in, we've got them inked, and now it's just for decoration. So I wanted to do botanical, really, and I love this one, so I'm probably going to use this just as a yeah, but it needs cutting down, doesn't it? So I just need a pencil, and I want that cut down about there, and I want that cut down about here. Okay, because it doesn't really matter if it's straight or not, I'm just going to use scissors just to chop that off, and use scissors just to chop this off. Okay, let me lift that up a little bit. There we go. That's pretty. So I'm just going to find some bits to go in first. I did get some butterflies out, because I do like a butterfly. Let's see, I like this rose there as well, but would that fit in a small one, I'm thinking? Nah, it's way too big, isn't it? It's just a bit small for that, really. Although that's quite nice. Let's see if we can fill it up, though. Right, I've got this one. I quite like this one. The daisy. Yeah, I like that one as well. And then let's pick something else. See, I do like this, but then I don't want all daisies. So the rose is too small, we said. What about this set here? Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah. So I like those three. So now we've just got these three. And what I'm thinking, would that go in? Yeah, it's too big, too big, too big, too big. We know that that's too big and that's too big. This one's quite small, but it's not, it's the wrong sort of colour to go against that white. We know that that's too big. We know that that's too big. These are pretty though, but again, these are fairly neutral. Yeah, it's too big anyway. Okay, so I've got a little plant here, or some little flowers I should say here. I think that might even be too big. Should we do a butterfly? Let's just have a look at the size of that. Oh, that one's perfect in there. Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with that. I did get some of these little flowers out, so I thought these would be quite nice as like ID type things, maybe. Oh, I do like that one actually. And then, what about, yeah, maybe I should change one of these for a butterfly. I might do that. I do like this blue one. Because it's still botanical, isn't it? So we've got 2 flowers and 2 butterflies. We've got a picture in there, although he's quite handsome chappy. Just have a look at that one. Yeah, we'll go with him. And then we've got this little flower here, which is it'll go that way though. Thing is, you can't really tell what it is. What about a tulip? Yeah, that's cute. Okay, so I think we're done with those. That was just a cut off piece, wasn't it? That one's got a backing already. I think we'll put some backing in here. Yeah. So we just need that to be sort of there. And if we just go in between. Yeah. About there. Okay, so we've got a piece going on there. That's too wide. Might be a bit too wide. Let's just take another little bit off of that. Just to make that fit. Yeah. I do want that straight though. We've got a backing on that one already because it was a full card. Yeah, and then we'll just stick some yeah. So we just need some little bits for these ones, which aren't very big. Yeah, so if we just take that off. Yeah. Oh, that's the bit I wanted. I've got a hair on the desk. Sorry, guys. Actually, I might leave the rip in. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that rip in and stick some boo-boo tape on it. Okay, so that one's got one. That doesn't actually need anything because that photograph fills that area, so that one's okay. And then we just need a piece for here, which I think is all we'll need is a piece of this. Okay, yeah. So we've got all of those bits now as well. Put those over there. These are actually great to do as a mass make. Just get all your bits and sort them out. It's just a nice little project just to sit there and just make them up. And you can add to them or at a later date. So these are great just to stick in your stash, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. I'm going to glue as I go. I don't really need that. I can use glue stick, can't I? Okay, so just going to pop that in to there. This is a sticker, so this will come off, and I can just glue it from the bottom, snip it from the bottom once I've got it in place. That's a small one actually. I'm doing the wrong one. It's the butterfly, isn't it, that I want? Okay, so let's just get the butterfly a little bit glued up. And then if I want it in the middle of there, yeah. I just check. Yeah, perfect. Can it go up any higher? Maybe let's go up just a smidge. Just a smidge more. There we go. Oh, that's cute. I'm liking it. We can get this one glued in because it's a one piece. So that one can get glued in. Over this way just a little bit so that the flowers are more or less in the middle. So that one's done. Get this one glued in. And get this one glued in. I want the leaves to sort of show, and I want it to be in the middle. But I want it to, yeah, that'll do. There. Great stuff. Let's get this glued in. That way. Okay, now I want to straighten those squares up a little. That's better. And then this one can go in here. I'm working too far near me, aren't I? Again. They do come off easy enough, these stickies. I've got some glue on my finger. And I just want to see where... Oh, is it that way or is it to the side? No, do it that way. Make it a bit longer. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so we'll just push that down. It's a good way to get rid of these stickers because I'm not overly keen on these glossy type ones. But because you've got a gloss frontage on there, it's quite easy to use these ones up. So that's pretty cool. Let's get some of that down. I just want to sort of roll that over a little. And roll that over a little, just so that I've got a bit of a gap in there. Just get a bit of glue on there. Is that the right way? I don't think it is it? I put it that way. And I just lift that up so that you can see the card underneath. And then I'm going to just pop a bit of boo-boo tape on there. Now I only want a really thin piece. And I'm just going to sort of put it across there. So I only want a little bit. Okay. works so well, this stuff. Yeah. And I need to ink my butterfly, my mini butterfly. Okay, get a bit of glue on that and stick that down. Okay, it's supposed to be that way. All of these are to the side, but I do like it that way. No, it needs to go that way, doesn't it? It needs to come down a bit as well. Oh, I like that. It's quite nice. And then the last one is my photo, which goes in. Which way is it going to go? It's going to go in that way. I'm tempted to turn that around. I think it'll look better. Too far over. Further over. Yeah. So he has to go in a certain way because of the size of him, I think. Oh, it'll go in either, actually. Either or. But then I've done that one that way. Yeah. So I'm just going to stick him down. So I've got his hat. There we go. Oh yeah, liking that. Okay, so what I've done now is I've added in my brads and eyelets into the ones that I need to, which are those two. And for these ones, they are a little bit fiddly, these tiny ones. But they are quite nice, and what I like them for is we could probably put an eyelet in the corner here. So I think I'm going to take that brad out, and I'm going to see if I can put an eyelet in that one. Okay, because I think they'd be nice as dangles. They'd be quite cute as dangles, actually. So I'm going to take those that corner brad out on these ones, and we'll add an eyelet, I think. I didn't think I'd be able to, but I think there is enough space, so I'm going to do it. I'll just throw those ones away because I've clipped them. So what I did with these ones is if you pop them in, if you're, the two legs that you separate to hold it into your work are too long, I just literally clip the ends off and do it that way so that they're nice and tiny and fit in there really cute. Okay, so that'll be those ones. I'll do the eyelets in those in just a sec. So all I need to do with this one now, in fact, I'll cut some of these off because these are too long. Some of these are too long. I don't know why they make them with such long lengths. Yeah, see, that one's sticking out. So all I literally do is I just get some snips and I just snip that leg off once it's closed. And then that works fine then in there. Okay. I have got a smaller one there. That's the one for there. I have got one with smaller legs. I don't know why. But it still needs snipping, so I'm still going to snip it off. So that's what we would do, is just snip those off. And it's quite easy to do. It's not hard on your hands or anything like that. It's It's fairly easy to do. So just separate it, get them as tight as possible, and then just snip that off. And then we're just going to get that eyelet and pop that through both pieces. And then I'm just going to pop that in. So they're ready to glue up now. I just need to find some eyelets for this. Just bear with. Just taking another slither off. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with that. Yeah, that works okay. I'll just come in a little bit, I think. Pop that one in. Do the same with this one. Yeah, so you can actually come in quite a bit because you'll cover that where we initially made the first holes for the brads. There we go. Yeah, see, so you can actually come in quite a bit. So yeah, they do work. Do that one. So now we're just going to glue them up, and I'm going to use art glitter for this because of the acetate. So I'm just going to go down the sides and the bottom and just hold that a little bit. So they're all glued and all done now. I think next time I wouldn't take the whole through to the back either, apart from this one obviously. I would only put the holes in the front if I'm using brads. If you're using eyelets, obviously you'll need to, but because I've used brads, I didn't really need that back hole. So that's what I would do differently. And all we need to do really now is to embellish a little bit. So I've got a few words here. It's not all going to fit. We've got a daisy a day, which is quite cute. Pocket full of posies. And I think the only other one I can use is this one because I think it'll just fit on there. I could glue it on and then take those squares back out. So I might do that. So I just need to ink those and then we'll stamp the others, I think. I've sorted out a few little stamps that I can use, and that we'll call it done, I think. They're quite enjoyable to do these. Nice and relaxing little project. And, you know, you can use anything. You can use photographs, you can use, you know, insects, you can use florals. You know, they don't have to be the grungy type that you see a lot of, I don't think. Anyway, I quite like these. I think they're quite cute. So I'm just going to glue these on, and then I'll wait for that one to dry before I just chop those squares out of there. Still might need a bit of stamping, I think. Just to finish them off. And obviously this one. So I've got a little stamping board here. I've got some I'll have to do that one down, I think, because I won't get it in. And I don't really want to, I'm going to use the ground espresso. Just put, so I'm probably going to pop that down there. And I'm not too fussed if it doesn't go on all the way. Oh, that's quite nice. Like that, really. I think I'll just put a little bit down here. Just a faint line. I'm not going to do them all the same. Now this one says specimen sample, but I only want it on specimen. So I'm just going to do that. And I'm just going to put specimen in the top here. And I still didn't get that top bit. Anyway. It might be better that you stamp before you put the brads and stuff in. I like them, they're quite cute. I think this one needs a bit more ink on the top. Oh, that one needed that cutting out, didn't it? I just want to cut these squares out here. Just to keep the look of the specimen card. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I like those. Okay, so there we have it. So I'm quite happy with those. I would have done things a little differently, like the holes in the back and obviously stamping before you put your, metal embellishments in. So anything that's raised is going to hinder your stamping unless your stamps are small enough. So, but yeah, I actually quite like the way they've come out, and I love these. They're beautiful. I mean, look at them. They're just so cute. I love them. I've added a little bit of boo-boo tape to some of them as well, just to enhance them a little bit, because I think it looks rather nice. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for joining me, and thanks for watching. I will be back tomorrow with the letter T. So I'll see you then. Thanks. Bye for now.